Hi, Gabe.
Yes.
Hi, MaKayla with 3M. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So I just heard you guys got back from a company retreat into Hawaii.
Yeah, we did. It was an absolute blast.
What'd you guys do?
Well, so I got to do a little bit of fishing. I got to relax a little bit.
That's nice.
A lot of people got to go like surfing, but I'm not one of those hang loose surfer kind of guys.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not very good at that. But I got to do some fishing, so that was a blast.
That's great. Did you catch anything?
I did. Yeah, I caught some bass, some catfish.
Wow.
Typical stuff you'll find in Hawaii. Yeah.
Did you guys eat it?
Of course. Well, you think I just catch it just to look at
Throw
take
it back?
pictures? Yeah, come on.
I mean, Instagram.
That's for you young folks.
Oh, yes. Well, hey, before we get started, I want to go ahead and give you my business card.
Okay.
It's got all of my
Thank you.
contact information on there in case you have any questions after
Okay.
today. And I know over the phone you said you had about 15 minutes. Is that still correct?
It is, yes.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
So, I met with Taylor, and he recommended that I meet with you.
Mm-hmm.
If you like what you see today, what would be the next step?
The next one, you're probably, so you'd be meeting with our purchasing managers.
Purchasing,
Yeah.
Is that Casey?
That is, yeah,
Good,
that's Casey. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
cool. Well,
yeah.
hopefully I can go meet with Casey later on.
Yeah, hopefully so.
So like I said, I met with Taylor, and,
Okay.
We talked more about the design side of things.
Okay.
He said that you guys have not been able to currently meet the demands of your customers. They're more demanding lately, and some issues that we discovered with him is that the sign is experiencing rust from the screws and the rivets over time, as well as the adhesive glue wears out, LED lights fall out, but I actually showed him a product that's going to address those issues and more, and he really thought that I should demonstrate this product with you. Is there any other issues that you would like to discuss on the design side of things before we jump into production?
No, I think you nailed it. If Taylor signed off on the design side, then I think that we're good there.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one thing that we've really been seeing in the industry with a lot of other companies who are on the production side of things are experiencing about 3 issues, and it's going to be time that it takes to produce things. They're really looking to speed that time up. Also, utilizing space, maybe utilize that storage that they have a little more efficiently, and also the work environment, some health issues that their employees are experiencing. Are you guys currently experiencing any of these concerns?
Yeah, I think that there's a few of them in there that we kind of bounce around with. The most important one is that I'd like to see is the time that we're spending. I'd like to see that go down a little bit. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, well then let's start off with that.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit. Taylor mentioned that your most popular sign, the one you're producing the most often is going to be the Neo Glow sign.
Okay.
Can you talk me through the steps it takes to make the Neo Glow?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different steps that go into it. So I don't want to bore you with all the long details in it, but there's 3 main ones, right?
Okay.
So it goes from we grab the stuff from inventory, we bring it over, and then you take the sign, you take the screws on each one of the signs, and then you take the adhesive glue, you pop it to the acrylic sheet and pop that to the LED, and then the glue has to sit overnight. Or actually, I'm sorry, this glue is only for this sign. It's only going to be a little bit longer. So
Okay.
So and then it all comes together.
Right. It sounds like a great sign.
Yeah.
How long, does each of these steps take? You mentioned a few of them.
Yeah, so on average, each step takes about 2 hours. So in total, the sign takes about 6.
Okay, so about 6 hours total, you said. What happens if, you said there's 3 steps going into this process. What happens if one of those steps malfunctions?
Their boss gets pretty mad at them.
Understandably so.
Yeah, that definitely happens. So 2 things can happen. Either there's a quick fix that we can make on it, and then we just keep going on with the process, and it's just one of those things, and we're good. Or there are times where we're going to have to completely redo and restart over.
Completely redo. Wow. So you said you guys are currently spending about 6 hours each sign, but if it's malfunctioning, you're redoing it, that could be up to 12 hours per sign?
Yeah, if we got all the way through the production process, and that's right when we had the malfunction, and then you had to start all the way back over, then I guess it would be the 12 hours. It doesn't usually get all the way up to there.
Right. But anywhere between 6 and 12 if you're experiencing malfunctions.
Sure.
Well, what would it do for you, if there was a product that could take away all of your malfunctions and cut your time in half it takes to produce each Neo Glow sign?
It would make me one happy camper.
Yeah.
I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you think it would be beneficial for you guys?
Yeah, I think so.
Great. Okay, well, we've talked about time. The next thing that I do want to discuss with you that you may be not experiencing as much is the utilizing space. So you said, you're using quite a bit of products right now. About what percentage of your warehouse would you say is used for storing these products?
Right now I'm thinking about my warehouse right now. It's kind of an interesting question. So I'd say probably about 15 to 20% of our space is going to be used for storage.
All right. And how do you think it affects your productivity knowing that much of your warehouse is being used just for storage rather than production?
I don't know if there's much of an effect there. I mean, you need the inventory to get to kind of start your engine and have, to produce things, you have to have things from production to come from. So you need that space. I think they kind of go hand in hand.
But do you think that, if you could minimize that space to, let's say, 5 or 10%, that you could be producing 10 to 15% more of your units?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So then how would it make your warehouse look if you could be producing 10 to 15% more?
A little bit more productive. Yeah.
So then what would it do for you if, hypothetically, there was a product that could reutilize your storage space, decrease that amount, and, in turn, increase your production?
Well, I think that we would have more signs that we could produce, especially a lot more of these NeoGlow signs.
Yeah.
And overall, our warehouse would be a lot more productive.
Great. I think it would so as well. So this last topic that I want to discuss is going to be, the work environment. So just to get a more general idea, how many employees do you currently have working in your warehouse?
In our warehouse right now, we have about 200 employees. 200.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And what would you say is the average tenure?
Tenure on the average employee, about 10 years.
10 years? That's pretty average, I would say, for the industry. Do you agree?
About so, yeah.
Okay. And but what is your turnover rate currently?
That's not what we like talking about as much.
Yeah.
We sit around about 20%.
20%?
Yeah.
So you're losing about 40 employees a year?
Yeah.
And what are they leaving for?
Well, this is the most beautiful job in the world. It's not one of those things that people are super excited about.
Yeah.
It's a warehouse job, so it is what it is. You're gonna get some people that are just gonna fall out because of that. You'll get some people that'll fall off for just some generic health reasons, and then you'll also get people that are that just will retire or move on, get a better job, those kinds of things.
Yeah, which is of course you're happy for those that move on. But let's go back to those generic health reasons that you discussed. Could you list some for me?
Yeah. So inside a warehouse, you're gonna have things that come up there's gonna be lots of loud noises, banging on things. There's gonna be maybe some odors that go around from some of the different things. And then, of course, if you're doing the same kind of robotic and repetitive motions over and over again with your hands, certain things can pop up. I guess they call it carpal tunnels, things like that.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm familiar with that. So let's talk about that carpal tunnel a little bit. How many cases of carpal tunnel have you had of your employees experience?
Ever?
Let's say this year.
No, this year. Okay. I think there might have been 1 or 2 so far this year.
Just 1 or 2? But you guys have been in operation for 35 years, so is that 1 or 2 about average per year?
I think that there's probably got to be maybe a little bit more per year. If it's only 1 or 2 and we're only through, February at this point.
Oh, yeah.
I guess there's got to be a little bit more than that. So
it's safe to say you're losing quite a bit of your employees due to health issues such as carpal tunnel.
I would say so, yeah.
Do you think that maybe there are some cases going unreported?
Maybe so.
And cases, if cases are going unreported, that means you have employees still on the assembly line with carpal tunnel, still producing your units. How do you think that's affecting their ability to work?
Well, one, it's kind of a liability for us.
Yeah.
To have people out there with that and we're not doing anything to help them or fix it or giving them any time off. Yeah, that's worrisome for us. And as far as their productivity, that kind of goes second to their overall health. We need to know about these things. But as far as how unproductive they are with carpal tunnel, well, that's not as productive as they could be.
So how does it make you feel as a manager knowing that your employees are suffering from these health issues such as carpal tunnel, going home with odors on them, loud noises? How does that make you feel?
Pretty rough.
Yeah.
Pretty rough. I'm not excited to hear these things.
Right.
It's not something that excites me about my job. It's one of those things where you have to understand that in a blue-collar environment when we're working in a warehouse, people know when you're working with your hands all the time. Construction workers get it, warehouse workers get it.
Yeah.
It happens. But yeah, it doesn't feel good.
But what if there was a product out there, where your employees are still working with their hands, but it ensures that they're not going to be experiencing these side effects anymore? Mm-hmm. Would you consider looking at it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because what I'm hearing from you so far is pretty common of what we're seeing in the industry, as we mentioned before, is that you're looking to decrease the time it takes to produce your units, as well as reutilize some of your storage space so that it could be more productive and used for actual production, as well as let's make that health environment better for your employees.
Sure.
Does that all sound correct?
Yes, it does.
Did I miss anything?
No, you didn't.
Great. Well, what I have with me today, I really think is going to address these concerns of yours. Would you like to see it?
I would.
Great. So what I want to show you first, we're talking about the time that you have, is, my product is actually, it's called 3M VHB tape.
Okay.
Okay. I'll come back up.
Okay.
It's called 3M VHB tape,
Okay.
and it's actually going to cut the time it takes you to produce your units, like I said, over half.
Okay.
So what I have right here is actually a timetable showing, they're actually just using screws, they're doing all the same processes you mentioned before, drilling and sanding. And then this other one right here is just applying the tape. And it's a step-by-step process over a span of 3 minutes. At each minute, you can take a take and see. The tape takes 1 minute and 15 seconds versus this 3 minutes and 26 seconds that it takes to apply the rivets and screws.
It's a big difference.
Do you see how that time is going to absolutely make you guys be able to produce more units?
I think so, yeah.
Great. The other thing that we mentioned, was your storage and space. And another paper that I have with me today, this is actually a life-size image of our 36-yard roll of tape.
Okay.
And I'm sure you currently have boxes of screws and, just bags of equipment and all sorts of things back that's taking up that 15 to 20% of storage, as we mentioned. This roll of tape can just stack up, and we can minimize that storage to 5% of your warehouse.
Okay.
Do you see how that's going to help you guys be able to produce more in the long run as well?
Yeah, I guess I can see how this would be a little bit less space taken up than the other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that would help you utilize that space better?
I think so. We'd still have to go and purchase more things to use, to go with our production, right? Like to replace the area that was currently having the screws and the glues and the other things. If we take that out, we still have to invest in the equipment that goes there that we're using to make the signs.
Okay, so are you concerned with the fact that space isn't going to be reutilizing for production because you're still needing excess equipment?
No, I think we can still reutilize it for production. However, we'll still have to make an initial investment in the infrastructure that goes in that split.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying. So in the short run, you're worried about having to bring in revamping that space and the time that's going to take. Okay.
Yes.
Well, like I said, over time, you're going to actually, be able to cut the time it takes to produce in half, which is going to, in turn, bring you more revenue. So do you see how it's actually going to be a long-term investment that's going to pay off?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, the last thing that we talked about is the work environment. And as you can see, it's tape, so it doesn't have any odors. It doesn't make any loud noises, and it certainly is not going to cause issues with carpal tunnel because it's not the same motions with heavy machinery every day. And you see how that's going to absolutely improve the work environment for your employees?
Well, yeah. tape's obviously not the same thing as the other products that we've been using. So I think that it'll be. It's not as hard on your hands. I have a 95-year-old grandma that uses tape all the time. So.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, I really think this product is something that's going to benefit you guys in the production assembly really greatly. And do you want to go ahead and move forward?
Well, one of my biggest concerns that I have with this tape, right, is, like I said, my grandma is the one that uses the tape. And, she's not taping together the large signs that we're taping together. Like, that is heavy, heavy metal that we're taping together. And that's not the same thing. And it's like, you bring in this tape and it's like, okay, yeah, you're saying all these things, but how do I really know that this tape is going it's going to hold together our sign? Imagine what would happen if that sign fell down on somebody.
I absolutely understand your concern, and Taylor actually had a very similar concern. What I want to express to you is I was able to address this with him by showing him that one of our actual current clients of ours, Roundhouse Motor Company, they use this tape on buses, which carries 200 people a bus. So they're held liable for these people every day. And I actually have with me a presentation showing you how strong the tape is. Go ahead. You look like a strong man. Try and pull that apart.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I guess I can't do anything with it.
Yeah, do you see how strong that tape is there?
Were you trying to emasculate me?
I was not, I'm sorry.
All right, here you go.
But as I pointed out to you, if bus companies are able to rely on the strength for their liability issues, do you see how you're going to be able to rely on it for your signage?
I think so.
Good. Well, do you have any other concerns today?
I do not.
Great. Well, let's go ahead and schedule a meeting with Casey, as you mentioned before.
Yeah, I think I'll chat with him, see what time works best, and then we'll get in touch with you.
That sounds wonderful. I'll send you an email following up.
Sounds good.